Hello and welcome to this late afternoon, well, depending where you are, mid-afternoon taste challenge. I have two blended Scotch whiskies, both introduced in 2019. This is Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire, introduced in 2019 in collaboration with HBO for a television series promotional. It has been discontinued because the television series went off. It was, it ran and it was done, and so they got rid of this. But like it says here, limited edition, so it wasn't designed to be permanent. And I can see how much I have left, about half the bottle. I can't look here because it's covered. All right, here is Chivas Regal, the famous Chivas Regal, introduced in 1909. But this is the age 13 years, the Chivas Regal Extra. And this is selectively finished in American Rye Cask. And this was also introduced in 2013. And this particular bottle was a special edition of the special edition. This was Manchester United, says it right there, Manchester United Special Edition, done in collaboration with English soccer team. And it was bottled on September 16th, 2019 at 11:29 a.m. Scotland, Kingdom of Ireland time. So, but they did the Manchester United promotional, and this is a bottle which we got for $9.99. They had these left over, and they sold them for $9.99. It's normally about $36, $38. But then they still make it. They're about to get rid of this. They're going to probably stop making it. But they don't do the Manchester United promotional. They change the label. It's the same product. It just dropped the football promotional. It says right there, Manchester United. An ultra smooth and mellow blend, selectively finished in American Rye Cask. Not even all of the whiskeys in here are finished in American Rye Cask. Only some of the whiskeys are finished in American Rye Cask. So it's kind of like a sort of Rye Cask finish. Now, the Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire, they say they use Kalila single malt in it to a certain extent, seemed like a very small extent, to give it a subtly smoky finish. And I would say more like a completely smokeless, I'll call it a virtually non-smoke finish or character. But they claimed it's got a smokiness, but I'm not too sure about that. The Chivas Regal is slightly darker. Liquor enthusiast says, good afternoon to you, sir. Same to you. Okay, so I want to look up something real fast. I'm trying to see whose rye barrels this could possibly be coming from. I'm just checking the parent company, our brands. Let's see here real quick. The Americas. We'll go to the Americas. No, I'm not seeing anything that would really match up. I know they own TX whiskey, Texas whiskey, but I don't think TX makes a rye whiskey. They make a blended and straight bourbon. Most of what you see is the blended American whiskey. then some barrel finish. Oh well, maybe they made a contract with some other rye. Although, no, that's not right. Okay, well, we don't know. Maybe they just paid for the barrels. Oh, let me show you the website for Chivas Regal. There's no website for the Johnnie Walker because it's discontinued, like I said, so they can't be. They got rid of it. See, they went to a blue and red label after they dropped the Manchester United, but that was just a special edition thing. All right, 13 years. The youngest blend is 13 years. Discover a world of flavor. Chivas Extra 13 Rye is a mellow whiskey that adds a new layer of flavor to the luxurious Chivas house style. A portion, finishing a portion of our blended American Rye Cask results in long mellow flavors that are made to be savored. Oh, will it? Will it? But they're not owned by. But like I said, they could have paid them for it. I think, and if you check back in October 2026, you're not going to see this listed at all. It's going to be gone. But oh well, we'll move on to something else. I'm almost at the end of my bottle anyway. I don't expect to see any more to buy. Would I buy any other Chivas brands? Yes, definitely. Not, and also Johnnie Walker. This one has a pungent, bountiful aroma. Now, some of these would be dead note, like you smell them and it's like nothing happening, nothing happening. This one has some things happening. But is it Rye Cask? Could be. Blah, blah, blah. I get oak. Did I spill some of this? On my hand. I get some oak. Damn. Hold on a second. I spilled a little bit of it. I know I need to speed this up because the baseball game is already on and the National Socialist Football League is coming on soon. In the same way, oh, liquor enthusiast says, I'm the same way, Ron. Drinking the whiskeys gets expensive. Tell me about it. Well, I've got a good backlog now. I got 17 unopened, true story, unopened bottles of bourbon. So I don't have to buy any bourbon for the next 20 years, 12 years. So yeah, I'm cool on that. And my friend David was like, "You just got some old junk." I said, "No." He didn't use those exact terms, but that's what he meant. I said, "No, I got credible stuff. I got some very credible stuff." And I was looking at it yesterday while I was watching the Saints game, New Orleans Saints game. I was like, "Yeah, this is going to be great." Won't be till next year. This has got to be the Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire, because it's got this depth. Like there's a depth of aroma to it. Now, is it aged at least 13 years like the Chivas Regal 13? I don't think probably it is. I don't get that impression, but there's something special about it. Wait a minute, though. I thought I smelled smoke. I don't know. On aroma, I'm having trouble. Now we shall do it. I'm telling you, I'm tasting smoke. The comical thing is I could drink this 10 times and I don't take, I'll go 9 times, don't taste smoke. The 10th time I'll taste smoke. I go 9 more times, don't taste smoke. Then on that 10th time, taste smoke. Isn't it strange? Now over here, I think there is a little spicy rye, spicy minty rye note. A little bit. See, they say finish some selected whiskeys of this blend or finish in rye cask. Not the whole blend, some of the casks. I mean, to say some of the whiskeys. They don't say how many. They don't say for how long. They just say it's finished. You say that's a gimmick. We know it's a gimmick. We all know that. They know it. They kind of like telling you it is. This is a gimmick. They basically telling you that. So the solution is if you don't like that, don't buy it. I didn't care for it either way. I didn't care, gimmick, not gimmick, didn't matter. I wasn't going to buy it. I saw this for $9.99. All of a sudden, I got really interested in it. I saw this for $14.99. All of a sudden, I was very interested in it. And A Song of Ice. I bought the blue and the blue oriented and the red oriented. Fire and Ice. $14.99, $9.99. 3 bottles, less than $25. Yes. Well, what am I saying? Less than, let's see, 15 and 15 is 30, and less than $40. I meant to say, sorry. I knew as soon as I said 30, I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, but 3 of these for less than $40, give me a break. That's a great deal because this right now is $41.99 at Total Wine. So 3 full-size bottles for $39.97. Oh, wait a minute. That's your deal right there. Now, do I expect to find such a deal in the future? Honestly, yes, I do. Because the track record here in Louisiana is that every few weeks I find another deal. Don't always jump on them because, like I said, I got enough. Yes, I could have bought the Seagram 7 Apple for $3.99, full-size bottle. Seagram 7 Apple, $3.99. But I've already bought it. I bought it 2 years ago when they had it for $3.99. I liked it. Tastes good. I had the Rich and Rare Apple. It tasted good. I had the Captain Morgan sliced apple, rum based. It was good, but it was $4.99. But I was a liter. So now, but they did have the Smirnoff Peach, for $5.99. And I know Smirnoff is a famous brand and all of that. So I'm gonna buy it. Tastes like peaches. Even tastes like the stone, like the little seed in the middle. I guess they crushed it all up together. They didn't even pay any mind. Just soaked it all together and filtered it something through some kind of mesh filter or something. I don't know. But it was very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Not my kind of thing, but I buy them for those Fandango Friday videos we do, bringing a liquor or liqueur. And I mean, you say, why are you buying stuff you don't even really like? I don't know. It's just something to try. And I bought that Crown Royal chocolate. They got the Jack Daniel's Jack Daniel's Blackberry on sale right now for $22.95. Could buy that. I don't know though. I'm getting kind of overwhelmed with those liqueurs. Okay. I almost thought that I tasted smoke over here. Well, these are so comparable. It's very hard because you got famous, mainline brand Johnnie Walker, mainline, not some niche craft whiskey, right? Chivas Regal, same thing. They're comparable to each other. They're like both from companies that started in another, I think they started in grocery stores, and then they started making blended whiskey as time went on. The price point for these two is usually about the same. Availability is usually about the same. ABV is usually about the same. You got people that only drink Chivas Regal. You got people only drink Johnnie Walker. I would drink both. To me, they're a good crossover. I don't think that you should really have to be too exclusive on that. Joe Cobb says, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, Ron. Happy Canadian. Do y'all know it's Thanksgiving Day in Canada, Thanksgiving night now? They have Thanksgiving Day early in October, but we don't have it till late in November. Who's right? Who's wrong? Which legit? What's illegit? But cheers to the hostages being released by that terrorist organization over there in the Near East. Hope the hostages do well. Hope all terrorists and war criminals be brought to justice, regardless of who you cheer for, that all the people that committed war crimes and terrorism be brought to justice. And ultimately they will. But in this life or the next. But so that was a very great accomplishment for a very famous American president. Okay, Joe Cobb says, Chivas is not a bad bottle. I never tried the Song of the Fire bottle, read the Song of Ice and Fire books that inspired the Game of Thrones series, the great books. Okay, I never watched a single episode of that. I never read the books. I'm not against it. I just telling you I never read it. But I knew about, people always talk about it, winter is coming and all this stuff. But like I said, I wasn't even going to buy this, but when it was $14.99, all of a sudden I was going to buy it. So I think this is a Song of Fire. Is it better than the Chivas Regal Rye Cask finish? Nah, it's not better. Is it worse than it? No, they're even. They're comparable. They're both like popular culture, connected, collaborative products, special edition products, right? Limited edition. So, which is a type of thing I don't typically run behind unless it's like 70% off, which these two were, or more. So I don't know if they have discounts like that in Canada where you can get an $80 bottle for $17. but we get that here. All right. Well, get that in Louisiana. I can't speak for the other 49 states plus territories and districts. But A Song of Fire. I got it. I got it. I wasn't so confident. I was a little bit confident. Joe says, and yeah, it's depressing to think about war stuff. Tend to not focus on modern Middle East stuff is a mess. I do study history, government, and politics every day of my life. So I can't get away from that because I'm like always reading, watching, listening to international news, local news, national news coverage, including Canada. So, but I know it gets people down. Sometimes I get upset about it, I gotta admit. But I still read about it. I made a career. I got a retirement check coming every month, every month. But for that career of teaching history, government, geography, psychology, and all that. So if that's your hobby, you follow it. Yeah, if you want to really understand, you got to focus on modern stuff. Also, I am still young and focusing on older history to get a good understanding to go off of. I have some history, a lot of history, government, and politics videos posted. You can look at my playlists. And sometimes on Facebook, I'll post articles talking about different topics. Some people are real fanatical though. They'll unfriend me. Like, I don't like you now. I loved your videos. You are my inspiration. You mean something to me and all of this. And then I post an article about something. I don't like that. I don't like you anymore. I'm like, I didn't even say I agree with the article. Half the time I'll post an article and I don't even agree with it particularly. I just post, it's like, here's what somebody wrote. What do you think about it? That's basically what I'm saying. What do you think about it? But you get fanatics, unfortunately in political world, left wing, right wing, middle wing, doesn't matter. Fanatics, and they're very childish, and they if you don't agree with them, they take their ball and go home. In other words, that's their idea, their manifestation of political acumen. They'll say, well, if somebody doesn't agree with me on any political point, I'll just unfriend them and I won't talk to them anymore. And that shows me that I'm right. Doesn't really mean you're right. It might just mean that you're ignorant, or you're childish, immature. Because if you're so dedicated and based, you have a great base for your political viewpoints, you wouldn't have to do that. You could argue the viewpoints. You could say, well, this is what I believe, and here's why. And you wouldn't have to ridicule the other person, because some people think that arguing their political point is to call other people names. That's not a good argument. That's actually a terrible argument, and it basically discredits your viewpoint. So I try to never do that. But the funny thing is, like I said, I'll post stuff half the time. I don't even agree with the article. I'm just posting it to see, like, here's what this guy says, and what do you think about it? Basically, what do you think about it? You say, well, you have an advantage because you're not a fanatic. That is an advantage. That is an advantage. Because if you can think, use logic, be able to examine things in an abstract manner, it does give you an advantage over people who are very linear, because a lot of people, when they discuss politics, they're very linear in their approach. They can only think one way. So they don't have that ability to say, well, maybe there's another way, like, well, maybe, okay, I can see how you're saying that. They don't have that ability, so that it's it handcuffs them, Unfortunately, you just gotta hope the person could develop some kind of cognitive or better. That's kind of unlikely though. But so anyway, a Song of Fire and a Song of Fire and the Chivas Regal American Rye Cask finish. I can't really say I have a preference. Maybe, and this is very questionable. Maybe I prefer the Song of Fire, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't pay 5 cents, not $5. I wouldn't pay 5 pennies more for it. So it's a real toss up. But both real quality products. I'm patting them on the head right now. I'm like, did a good job. You did a good job. So they're really great. All right, so yeah, I've watched probably 3/4 of them, of that playlist, almost at least half. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, people are quick to shut people out or judge them because of internet stuff. You can still respect someone without agreeing with everything they think. But these people are fanatics. They're crazy. Rare to see that nowadays, though. Yeah, a lot of it is based on their own fear of losing or changing what they think and believe. It's easier to call you a buzzword than to think of why they disagree. That's definitely true. They probably are experiencing what's called cognitive dissonance, where they're thinking, I was raised this way. My dad was in the AFL-CIO, whatever. We were lifelong, whatever party. But then on the other side, they're thinking, maybe he's right, but that's like a storm. It causes like a storm in their mind. So as a defense mechanism, they'll just block you, don't talk to you, and they can go and just talk to other people who agree with whatever their policy is. And that's called confirmation bias. Or affiliation. So they'll affiliate. So what they do is they'll only affiliate with like-minded people. And then they can bounce it back and forth and talk about, yeah, you're great, you're awesome, of course we all know about that guy. And it builds up their self-esteem and their worthiness, but they don't have to question their thinking, you see. So but I never operate that way. I mean, I'm putting those things out there as a challenge, basically, like saying, like this person who was assassinated last month. He was saying, prove me wrong, prove me wrong. So, but that was like a perfect example of cancel culture. I'll prove you wrong. I'll just kill you because I don't agree with you. Fanaticism in practice, right? And this channel does not now, or has never supported either fanaticism or extremism. Naturally, we support logic, deep thinking, scholarship, which is offensive. You say scholarship, that's offensive to some people. Zealot is a kind of a better word than fanatic, but they are zealots about political causes, not religion. Well, same thing, same thing. Very true. Not many people can break out of that mentality and have enough faith in their own beliefs to take criticism. And let's not say their beliefs. Let's say their knowledge. Like, do you know what you're talking about? Because I'll hear people say, well, I believe that. Okay, but do you know about it? We're talking about World War II, and you believe this about that war, but do you know any? Because I talk to people, they'll believe a lot. I believe all these things about the Second World War. I say, well, you were born in 1967, and I was born later, and we weren't there, so we don't, we have no firsthand knowledge. So you believe all these things, and your grandfather was at Tarawa and all this, and his leg got damaged, and he had to amputate. And I'm very sorry, and I'll get all that, but that's not really the point at the moment. What do you know about it? Oh, well, they don't know too much, but I never knew who Kirk was until he was murdered. Oh, yeah, right. I didn't know too much about him either. I knew a little bit about him. heard the name more than anything. I don't usually follow the neoconservative people, but when I heard it, I was just appalled, of course. All right, but anyway, I would be appalled if anybody was murdered, no matter what their political beliefs are. But anyway, two winners, no matter how it goes, two great products. I think they're really wonderful. And I wouldn't have said that about this Johnnie Walker at first. I had a lot of issues with it, but it wasn't it was me. I was the problem, you know. All right, so I had to learn, you know, had to grow into it. Um, yeah, a lot of times people don't want to really research something because it might affect their views, right? Correct. Always take care, Ron, drinking a Heineken. Oh, good old Heineken. Yep. All right, so thank y'all for watching. The winner, there is no winner. I guess me, I got it right, but that's small potatoes. I have another great taste challenge coming tomorrow and the next day. After that, I got two slubs. I got two dogs. If you don't watch those, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't even recommend watching them. They're going to get killed. It won't even be, those videos will probably be very short. But that's part of the series, and then we'll move on to brandy. And I'm very excited about this brandy. Extremely excited, in fact. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.